Hey YouTube, so today I wanted to give you a quick little video about an issue that I ran into. Someone had a question about. They were doing a CV axle on a 2007 Chevy HHR. This vehicle is a 2007 model, as you can see from the sticker. If you don't know, you can always look at the sticker. And if you don't know the motor size of a vehicle, you can come over here and you can look at that right there and it'll tell you the motor size. This is a 2.2 liter 2007 Chevy HHR. So the issue was with the CV axle, and we happened to get one of these vehicles in, and I'm going to explain to you what the issue is. But basically we took the axle out, and this person, they were unsure because every time they went to the auto parts store, they found that the part that they got didn't match out what they took out. So we're going to show you what's going on with that. Now you'll see this end right here is a female end. All right, so when you take it out, what you have is a male end. So that's what confused the individual, and we're going to show you what's going on there with that. So over here we have the old axle, all right, and as you can see, now we have that piece off. But what happens is you have this little bitty small mini shaft, all right, and when you first take that off, all right, that is on the end of the axle. It's actually pushed up, and you just take like a little chisel and a hammer, and you can tap that off, all right. But you do need to tap that piece off because that piece is reused on the new axle. Okay, like I say, when you buy this from the auto parts store, you're going to be like, what the heck, it doesn't match up. But once you take that off, as you can see, it now matches up, and you'll even notice that it's indented here, all right, on both pieces, so that you can take that piece and tap it back on there. You'll notice there's a locking ring there. Just be careful when you're tapping it that you don't mess up the seal. This is really not, it's kind of a dry part, so if you do mess up the seal, it's not going to be, you don't have to worry about it too much. All right, but you will need to transfer this piece from this side to this new axle. Now, once you get it off, like I say, you use a chisel. Put your chisel like so on the side there, and then you can just tap it with the hammer, and that comes off. Kind of hard to do while I'm filming. And once you get that off, then you can get your new axle. I like to mount mine in a vise. All right. And when you mount it in the vise, don't grip it on the rubber, grip it on the metal, because you don't want to damage your the metal, your rubber boots there. So a little bit hard to do it with one hand. Lock her down and take that like so and put it on stationary. All right, now here's the trick to it. You don't want to take a hammer and hit that like so, because you don't want to damage those teeth there. So what I like to do is I like to take a piece of wood. I'll take a piece of wood and put it on top of that like so, and then I'll hit it. The wood is soft, a lot softer than the metal, so that if there's any damage to be done, it'll be done to the wood and the metal will stay the same. But you'll take that like so, you'll take the hammer and hit it, okay? Hit it right there on the top center, and that'll pop that down. Really don't have another hand here to help me film, so set the camera somewhere and do that. Maybe I can hold it with my chin. Okay, so like so, hold it, tap it down. All right, like so, tap it down. Once you tap it down, now it's ready to be installed back in the car. And if you tap it down good enough, you'll see that the lock ring locks it in place there. All right, see that? All right, Now when you take this piece, you're just going to take that and put it back in the car, install it as you normally would any other CV axle. But again, when you run into this issue like that, if you get a part that doesn't look right, look at the part and see if it comes apart. You know what I mean? Like I said, this comes out in 2 pieces, and you do want to reuse that piece. And always compare your old parts. Always compare your old part with your new part. They offered several different options on this. If it's a 5-speed, it was a different axle. Of course, it's a different transmission as well. And the year makes a difference too, because like later on, put that in there kind of tight. Later on, down the road, the year model becomes, it actually comes with that piece already on. They changed it from where you don't have to switch that out. The CV axle, I think on the 2009 model, 5-speed I believe it was, actually had that stud piece on there, so you don't have to swap that out. So just be careful of what you're working on, year, make, and model. Now to put this back inside, basically you just stick it in the hole. Okay, like so. All right. Now, if it doesn't lock in, what you can do is take a hammer, tap right here. But 9 times out of 10, when you have it broke down like this, you can just take and just push it a couple times and see how it just snapped in. Just by doing it like that, snaps in, that locks that in place. Now that's done. On this particular car, we changed the lower control arm, as you can see here, CV axle, the spindle. This was a wrecked vehicle. We're putting it back together for the client. We're going to change this strut out as well because it's questionable, and get this car back on the road and ready. We'll also have to bleed the brakes because the brake line was broken there. That's no biggie. Sway bar link will need to be replaced because it's bent. As you can see that piece there. He went to the junkyard. They got him another strut. Yeah. Guy was like, "Oh, but the strut looks good. Why are you changing it?" Well, it's a little worn out there. The rubber boot up inside there, the strut seat is worn out, and it's easier just to get another strut as opposed to trying to tear this thing apart and replace the seat, especially if you don't have the proper tools. You got the proper tools, you can do it, but compared to the cost of the seat and what it costs just to get the whole thing from the junkyard, which is cheaper to get the whole thing from the junkyard. That way we can just take this, put this in there, and be done with it. Then we'll put another sway bar link on here. These are pretty cheap, so that's nothing major. And the bend is not really that bad, so I could actually reuse that if I needed to. Tie rod ends look good on there. So we did need to get another hub. So we do have that piece right here. Like I said, this car was ran off the road, so yeah. Whole different issue there, but the bearing kind of looks a little questionable because, you know, it's kind of pushed out there. We'll push that back together, press that back in before we put it on the car, transfer all the parts, and then we'll have that car up and rolling. So again, if you have a Chevy HHR and you run into that issue when you're changing the CV axle, that's what's going on with it. Just pop that cup off and slide the another one on, and you should be good to go. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great summer. Get out, do something, enjoy life. I know we've all been cooped up and time to get out. Thanks for looking at my channel. Thanks for taking on the projects that I've put out there for you, and thanks for the comments. I really do appreciate them. If you have anything that you would like to specifically know about, let me know, shoot me a line. I'll be more than happy to do a video on it. This came to me as an email, and it just so happened that we got the particular car that the person was talking about that they needed. So yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks for helping my channel grow. Please hit that like button down there and hit the subscribe button. And other than that, have a great day, YouTube. Thanks for watching.